Oh yes, we're going to talk about Lewis Hamilton again, and just why, in some people's eyes, he can't do anything right. Welcome back, Formula One fans, to another video.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Caveat once again to say that I'm not a Lewis fan. Was I mad on his behalf after Abu Dhabi? Yes, I was. Do I generally find other drivers more interesting? Also yes. Not his fault, but he's dominated the sport for so many years and it does get boring when the same few cars lead all the time. I think people who argue he's not a good driver and it's all the car are talking nonsense. He's a strong driver in a strong car, hence all the winning. But that's Lewis as a driver. As a person, I can take or leave him. What he does off track isn't all that important to me. But for some people, whoo boy, the poor guy cannot catch a break. Lewis's fashion has often been called into question, and I admit to commenting on some of his more out there choices when he turns up on track in a neon tracksuit or a kilt. But his photo shoots for the Wall Street Journal earlier this year in a sheer laced up mesh top and an open burnout tan suit jacket, or in an open white shirt and white trousers as he straddled a motorcycle, have proven particularly controversial on some parts of the Twitter sphere. Even worse was the reaction to his Met Gala outfit in September. On an evening where Lewis bought an entire table, a table at the most expensive and exclusive of parties for all the A-list celebrities, specifically to highlight the work of young black fashion designers, his own fashion choices were ripped apart across the internet by both F1 fans and the indifferent alike. I thought his outfit looked almost boring in comparison to some of those attendees. A rich black velvet suit. But under the suit jacket he wore a white lace shirt, and if the lace wasn't enough to enrage some people, and it was, the fact that the shirt was ankle length and Lewis wore it so half of it was showing below the jacket and down his leg really sent some people over the edge. What is it about Lewis's fashion that enrages people so much? I think it's a smaller part of a much larger issue with how he in general triggers a response from so many. Well, it's safe to say he doesn't dress like most of the other drivers on track, though who wouldn't pay good money to see Kimi rock up to Monaco in a kilt? And those who are different are always at risk of getting abuse for it. But it's more than just looking different. Lewis's fashion is often highlighting black designers, and so his clothing leans more towards street fashion, fashion with an African nod, or just clothing styles that aren't what you see on your typical clean-cut, wealthy white boy. Yeah, I'm saying that race plays a part in it. This has long been true for black fashion, and when you throw in the perceived femininity of his Met Gala outfit or his Wall Street Journal shoot, it made for a perfect storm on Twitter. A black man wearing something that looked like a dress? Oh, the scandal! Formula One is still very much a man's sport, in the cars, in the pits, and watching at home. It's also overwhelmingly a cis, straight man's sport. So the idea of a driver, one who is very comfortably masculine, wearing a more feminine style, was bound to rub some male fans up the wrong way. And, for some people, it's just plain the fact that it's Lewis Hamilton wearing the clothes. In some people's eyes, he could do no right. Whether it's the way he dresses, the way he styles his hair, or the way he talks in interviews, he cannot win with some people. Maybe it's because he spent the year in direct competition with one of the fan favourites, Max Verstappen. Maybe it's because, as I said earlier, people are tired of him winning everything in the past. Maybe it's because some people are just determined not to like him or anything he does. Never has this been more obvious than after the F1 finale this year. After the race, we could all see Lewis was absolutely gutted to have lost out on his 8th world title. We've already discussed our thoughts on the race and the aftermath in our last video, but I just want to focus on Lewis and his behaviour, because the reaction to his reaction to losing just proves that some people are determined to see the worst in him. He took a long, silent moment to steady himself before getting out of the car, and by the time he made it over to Max, Carlos and the weigh-in area, he was fully composed. He hugged and congratulated Max, and he gave a calm, measured interview with Jenson Button. But race fans were so quick to point out that he didn't drive his Mercedes to the grid, and he didn't hang around after the podium. He also didn't attend his mandatory post-race press conference, something which will almost certainly incur a penalty from the FIA. But can anyone honestly blame him for taking time to himself to recover mentally and emotionally from a stressful, upsetting event? Turns out yes, because people pulled him to shreds for his absence. He was lambasted on Twitter, and I've seen so many articles dedicated to his radio silence and his social media absence since the race, that is it any wonder Lewis is just steering well clear? This is a man who truly cannot win in some fans' eyes. It may be just how he is, but I get the feeling that everything Lewis says is weighted and thought through before he speaks, because he knows how the media and the fans will react to everything he says and does. If he came out of the car angry, he'd be playing into the angry black man stereotype. If he came out sad, the Lewis is a crybaby chants begin on Twitter. He cannot do or say what he really thinks or feels. He has undoubtedly learned this from previous run-ins with the media, and so is careful with his words, in a way Max and some of the other drivers have yet to learn. If he finds himself restricted in what he can say in public, then at least he finds other ways to express himself. Even if you're a cynic who thinks he only does it for his image, you can't take away from the philanthropic actions Lewis takes off and on the track.
Hey guys, I'm here in this beautiful part of the world, and we've kind of found this trash space here, and we've come to clean up. But I just wanted you guys to show the impact you're having with all the plastics that you buy and you throw away. This is where it goes. It's disgusting. All these bottles. This is what you end up buying ends up in the damn sea. Think about it. One of these bags. Got so far. We came here and this was completely covered in plastic bottles.
His evening at the Met Gala was a night he used to highlight young black designers who are often overlooked at such events. His interview with the Wall Street Journal was used to discuss his work to bring in more people of colour to a sport that is often seen as white and elitist. And every weekend on the grid this year, he has taken the knee to raise awareness of how we need to take a stand for equality.
Otherwise, what's the point of living? Life never stops teaching. And I am never gonna stop learning.
What do you think, Formula One fans? Let us know your opinions in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching!